So, he's crazy, crazy, stupid sometimes. He was talking on the radio. And he said, you can do all that? I said, yeah, I can do all that. He said, why don't you go in there and see how I can make a bomb or something about a bomb? I said, no, my goddamn computer, man. I'm not that goddamn computer. You get a goddamn computer, you go home and you do it. But not in my goddamn home. I'm not doing no shit like that.
7-9.
Yeah,
It's not that they're listening. The programs that are listening and monitoring, that I'm going to tell you what, you're right about that, 100%, but there's something else. The programs that run, they're not listening. If they had a person listen to every phone, it's not feasible. It's not how it goes. It's programs, and these programs run during your phone calls, and they trigger on keywords such as president, bomb, explosive, murder. You understand me? Terror. You know what I'm trying to say to you? They pick up on keywords. So in other words, you could be talking about anything and that's not criminal. And all of a sudden, you could just, for the hell of it, say the word bomb, and it triggers it. You follow? So now a human, after getting the computerized trigger, is gonna go over that phone call or that transmission or whatever it was, and make the decision. So obviously, when your boy did it, how he did it, the way he phrased it, and what he said, was the computer thing triggered it. It got monitored and reviewed by humans, and next thing you know, sure as you said, the following morning, bang bang.
Yeah, 100%. They don't actually monitor the whole conversation. Basically, in their computer systems, any word that you mention, it triggers it off, and then it starts recording. Your number pops up, and then they find out where you're at, but it's not actually recording. If me and you are just kicking about CB radios, they're not going to be listening, because you said there's millions of people about phone. But once they mention any word like you said, the computer data system automatically starts recording, like you said. So you're 100% right on that.
I know. I've been in the offices that do that. No, my coffee. I'll be back in a minute.
Now, I went back, way back in the 80s, 70s. Before the World Trade Center went down, I don't get these calls on the scanner. After the World Trade Center went down, I don't get those calls no more there, Roger. You're talking about on the scanner? Back in the days, you used to listen to a lot of things. I used to be able to listen to cell phone conversations, Candace phone conversation. Is that what you're talking about, Dr.? You didn't have to say it like that. I try to do it on a DL. You don't have to say it like that. You know you totally understood what I was talking about. Yes. But not no more. I don't know whatever happened to it. I tried every goddamn month and I didn't receive nothing, right?
No, yo.
Yeah, for a time. Yeah, it's different, Doc. I'll explain to you when 127. Go ahead, 127.
Doc, the reason why you get none of that is because all the city's police and communications, all the repeater systems and towers for the whole city was up on 9/11. A good majority of them anyway was up on the towers. When the towers went down, most of the communication repeaters and bases and all that other stuff, all that stuff you're talking about, all the frequencies, everything that was in existence is still in existence. It's just that some places you lost receive on it because of the height that they lost. So it's, I bet if you hooked up a much better antenna system for your scanner, everything you're missing you'll have again.
Okay, because I've been online looking for a good one to put out the window. I'm high up. I was good elevation. So it's 8 stories and 8, 9, maybe 10. I'd say 10. From the basement up is about 10. I'm looking for one to put out the window already. But I was thank you, 79. Thank you. That's what I told 79. It's because of the World Trade Center. After that, I don't get no more there, Roger. Well, so now, I actually still think mine on my own scanner. Now, what we're talking about right now, a lot of the new scanners have 3 different scanners over here. Okay? The new one, the digital scanner, because a lot of frequencies in New Jersey, they switched over to digital. Okay? It's not regular channels no more. They actually split the channels and they're running this all digital. But like 127 said, I still hear it. Okay? If I were to scan my scanner I have here, and it's not a regular scanner, it's one of them old Uniden Bearcat scanners. I can still hear cell phone conversations. Now, you might not stay in there long. You might not be able to listen to the whole conversation. What it does is it jumps. You might listen to a minute of one and then it'll scan and you might get another conversation. But the cordless phones, it's no problem. You can listen to cordless conversations all day long. So it has a lot to do with the location that you're at and the type of scanner that you're using over.
AS79?
Yeah.
The cell phones, the reason why you're still getting the cell phones, well, you're not really getting the cell phone itself. What you're getting is the actual cell phone when it goes into roaming mode. When the cell phones switch off their carriers, they go into roaming. A lot of the Romans still, and most of the Romans, even new, are still analog systems. So in some areas where the Sprint or the Verizon or whatever it is, AT&T, they ain't got the coverage, but there's private companies or private repeater systems that are roamers, what they call roaming. They're, off like, all right, let's say we got a Verizon with a plan, and when we wind up in some place and that alert goes off and boom, it tells us you're roaming. You're on your Verizon phone, your Verizon number, but you're not on a Verizon system. You're not on a Verizon digital system. You're actually on an analog repeater, which is why you get it. Cordless phones for the house, yeah, you're gonna get them all day long, 46, 49 megahertz. Now the new ones, these 800 ones and these gigahertz ones, as long as you got the scanners that have that capability, you can get them, providing that they're not doing the jump frequency thing, providing that they're not, like, example, the cordless cell phone, the cordless house phone, the little thing right there. As some of them, it'll tell you, while you're talking, this thing it's 100 channels. Well, it's moving through all its 100 frequencies as you're talking, and it's not going in a specific order. The thing is built that every phone call is scrambling it different. You feel me?
Yeah, I understand. Matter of fact, on the old scanner that I have, it's modified. It has a descrambler. It's about 25 years old, the scanner. It has a you know how like in the Costco, the scramble mode? Well, this scanner has a descrambler. So, that's the good thing about these old scanners. You can do so much with them. Modifications to them is just out of this world. But I had to put that in my scanner because of the simple fact that a lot of detectives out here were actually doing the big drug raids and all that. They were actually going to scramble the channels. So, I got a descrambler in there, which works really good. But I don't even use my new scanner. I have one of these new scanners I bought from Radio Shack. Brand new in a box. Now, I don't even use it. I listen to the old scanner. And works really good, man. Them old Uniden scanners and work real good, man.
Listen to me. From the years 1991 to 2000, actually 1991 to 97, I personally sold scramblers that were being used in the for scanning, CB radios, and other miscellaneous transceiver devices. I think I'm responsible for over 500 of them that are floating around in Jersey, and you are very correct about the detectives. A lot of crooked cops who are using scanners were using scramblers on the radio systems for the shit they were doing, and most of it was not legal. You forget I worked 16 years undercover in that state, going after cops you're talking about. So you are very, very correct. And the scramblers that I'm talking about are the ones that Copper used to advertise, and H&Y used to advertise back in the early 90s. They used to sell you 3 different kinds of them there. To cheapo and some good ones. The best ones, the ones I like the best, the RF limited ones, because the RF limited ones you could actually set them yourself on how you want them to scramble. In other words, if I got the RF limited, you got the RF limited, as long as we got our 4-digit scramble code the same, we're talking to one another and one another only. The other scramblers can't get in, even if they do have the scramble, if they're not coded with us. You follow me?
Yeah, I understand. And actually, the technician actually did mine was a CB operator, so he actually ordered it from the same place you're talking about. And that's the one I got in there. And every once in a while, the North Police use it. North Police actually use it a lot. The task force team, they use it a lot. East Orange Police still use it. There's a couple of towns that still use it. But they think, since they went to digital, they think that they upgraded and this and that. I mean, it's a little bit harder to program. But all I do is I put the scanner into the USB, and I punch all my numbers on a computer, and it downloads them automatically to the new digital scanners. I hear a lot of people, man, I want this new scanner. I don't know how to program it. Well, give me $50. I'll program it for you. I made a couple $100 from you programming those scanners, no problem, man. But you know what you're talking about on that side, 127.
I modified a lot of scanners. I do scanner mods too. There's a lot of shit I do I don't talk about out here yet. When it comes to sweeping up, you want to see some real tech equipment I break out, just hire me to do one of your sweep jobs. Just tell me you don't think the crib or the car, think about what you're paying the other guys to come in and sweep. And then I'll tell you my price. Watch what I bring to town. And better than that, don't be too surprised if I come up with what the other guys didn't come up with. Yeah, I'll be back. Let me go finish making this coffee.
Well, you need to let some people know, man. There's a lot of people on 27 that got scammers and stuff that they want to modify them, man. And that's a good thing to know, that you actually do that. That's really good. All right, 127. I'll be just reading now.
Hold it. Let me rephrase that. I can guarantee you that I can modify any scanner produced 2000 and less. I do not have any knowledge, books, or have experimented with any scanners today as of date, but I can assure you in all my other shops, I was a heavy scanner modist as well. And I could speak for anything that I've done in my history. I cannot speak for 2000 when I closed down the break to present. They're all scanners that were made and manufactured. Half the radios that are made and manufactured after 2001. Some of these RCIs, some of these newer Galaxies, some of these newer Rangers. I will be hesitant to work on them if I cannot get the schematics to them first. So I'll be the first to ask what unit you got. And if I got the schematics and I see what I'm looking for and I understand what the unit is, I will let you know if I can fulfill my task. I won't tell you I can mod something and I can't. I'll be back. I want to finish making this coffee. Give me a second.
Well, like you said, anything down from 2000, you just hit it on the head. That was an upside right there. Anybody actually knows the new scanners, it ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth it. No doubt about it. put my scanner on it. It's a big cat. It got 500 channels in it. A unit big cat.
I'm gonna kill him.
My boy gave me a big $35 for the chip when I bought it from him. And I put the chip inside. And it's pretty good, man. I'm gonna see if I pick up something now, but I got an antenna on the back near the window. I'm gonna see if I pick up something between the night and the day.
Doc, Dr. Love are about ready to kill you, shoot you, or hug you. You just said 500 channels?
Yes.
You have in your possession the Bearcat 8900 or the Bearcat 3000 handheld. What do you got sitting on your table? You got the base of the mobile.
I got the Unident Bearcat BC9000XLT.
You son of a bitch. Yo, right now I want to kill you. But I'll tell you what, you ever going to get rid of that, I want to be the first to know. I've had the 8900, I've had the 9000, when I went under in prison, the handheld they grabbed from me was the Bearcat 3000. They were flipped out. They actually put that into the reports. They wouldn't put all the CB equipment, the power supply, the radio and linear, but the paperwork that caught me transferred from minimum to max is had a picture of the Bearcat 3000 handheld scanner. Oh, Doc, I want to kill you. Those are my 3 favorite units, man. Yeah. I told you what you had sitting there before you told me, did I not?
Yes, sir. You knew what you were talking about when you asked me which one. I said, God damn, I know I got a good one because my boy knew about it. He knew all about it, and he touched it. And I got it from him for 200 when it was going for 400 at the time.
You got that right. Okay, I'll be back, man. Lucky dog you are. Maron, listen, you got a serious, and I mean a serious chip with me if you ever want to make any move. I'm just going to let you know that. You got something in your hands right now that to me could be considered like almost priceless. I'm going to let you know that. So you always know there's going to come a day that you're going to want to make a move here. And I know what you got that I want. I'm clear.
I know what you're saying. I know what I got. I know. It's the looking bad, man, and then it got the, how many bands, it got the bands. I used to scan 900s, 79, I used to scan 900s, all of them.